Victoria.
Good spot.
Awesome.
Great spot.
Well, mate, thank you so much for chatting to us today.
My pleasure.
So, mate, you guys have got so much going on at the moment. I know you've got vinyl coming out, you've got a wine coming out, and you've got this amazing festival coming up. So, let's start off with talking a little bit about how you guys have survived the last 12 months. How has that gone for you?
Surviving the last 12 months. The answer is not to stay idle, to just keep creating and finding ways to thrive. And what that has looked like. Yeah, that's been how can we play to less than 100 people seated without breaking any rules. And the answer was no, not play the metal band. Let's turn it into an unplugged cabaret show. So we attempted that. That's really interesting, and we're working on a documentary currently about the last few years the band's journey towards sustainability, looking for solutions. And yeah, the wines was an organic collaboration with long-time friends of ours, Trad, used to be in the Amity Affliction, and the vinyl has been a nice full circle thing of seeking those solutions out, and now UNFD are using them on their 10-year releases. So it's really, really cool to see all the research and hard work starting to blossom.
Yeah, I was really fascinated by the fact that they are eco-friendly vinyl. Tell us a little bit about that process on how to produce eco-friendly vinyl.
Sure. Well, the plastic pollutants like that vinyl are often made from are some of the biggest pollutants in the world. They come, a lot of them, out of Thailand, I've been told. So yeah, using recycled vinyl, melting down old, basically old plastics that haven't sold old vinyl, repurposing them, as well as not using the shrink wrap. It's been a huge learning curve for curbing the way that we do things. So a lot of retailers generally won't stock things that aren't in plastic. It's just a bit of an old paradigm. So we're just trying to make that shift there. And the companies that we've been working with often are carbon offset the shipping and everything. And everything's printed on recycled stock. So the actual cardboard and the paper itself. And the inks are actually vegan and non-harmful. So you've got a pretty, not only eco product, but it's still made of quality, and a lot of care goes into it.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. And the wine, you just mentioned a little bit about the wine, but how did that come about? Because I like my wine, so I cannot wait to get my hands on some. So tell us a little bit about how that came about with the wine as well.
Sure. So yeah, his name's Trad Nathan, and him and his wife, they actually run Crowbar. Used to be one in Brisbane, now one in Sydney. And Crowbar, those guys, they have started a little company called To Spill. It's a wine company, and they basically go and seek out vineyards that have full control over the small batches they're doing, and we worked with them to find the perfect wine or perfect wines that we like. So we got to try the ones we wanted. We were looking for a rosé and a red.
Yep.
And we were able to try those, and they were organic, biodynamic, vegan wines. So the processes behind them is pretty incredible. Here in Australia, and I got to collaborate on those to create for Earthwalker and Skybands, and we're planting a tree for every bottle of wine as well.
Wow, that's amazing. So tell us a little bit about the wine tasting, because that's a dream come true for me. How did that go? Like, what is that like, sitting there and going, no, I don't think that one's quite right. No, I really like this one. What was that experience like?
What's it like? We got it pretty much right at the start. So rather than getting sent 20 wines, we were sent just a few. I think it was just between the red, from memory, that we liked one over the other. So yeah, as long as we just decanted that red, and it really blossomed. It was epic.
Yeah.
And you got to chill the rosé, but there's not too much behind it other than just hanging with the band and just trying the wines. It was really, really nice. It feels like a medicinal experience rather than getting off your face experience with wine. It's just kind of something you enjoy.
Definitely. Now, tell us a little bit about the Full Tilt Festival, because I know we are so excited about this festival coming up, especially here in Melbourne, where we went into a hard lockdown for 8 months last year. Tell us a little bit about the festival and how excited you guys are about being involved with it.
Well, it's a huge lineup. I don't know. I'm pretty sure all of our friends are going to be there. Literally every band is a friend that we've toured with at some point and developed a deep relationship with after you spend more than a couple of weeks on the road in a bus with. So that's pretty fantastic. And as far as energy goes, I feel like everyone's, for the most part, the heavy music community has had the lid kept on them for far too long. And so given an opportunity like this where the lid can be released and people can really expel that energy and be together, I feel that this is a truly a full tilt kind of experience, that the stage is set for just a lot of moshing and a lot of singing along. And for that, I can't wait.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. What was that like for you guys being able to get back out on the stage for the first time after the lockdown? Like, that must have almost felt like the beast was being unleashed again.
Yeah, it was very euphoric and quite surreal, and it had been so long that, like, the beast you speak of, it almost just had accepted that it might not play again.
Yeah.
Like, in order to survive, rather than just like constantly waiting to get out. So it was almost like by surreal, I mean, I had to remind myself what that felt like and what the physical, attributes that come with having to rise to that kind of energy. And it became quite naturally, but there was this like, wow, this is so odd. This is so weird. Like, this doesn't feel right almost because it's been so long,
Yeah.
So after about 5 minutes, literally, I was able to just get lost in it and truly like just connect with the experience. It was so overwhelming. It was quite amazing.
You mentioned before about not staying idle when everything was in lockdown. Did you feel creative during that time? Like, were you working on new material at that time, or were you like some other artists who said that they just used the time to completely refresh the batteries?
Because we'd already announced that our record was coming out, and we just filmed and released Worldwide Suicide music video. It was just the beginning of all of the film clips and things that we had planned to do. So rather than, how would I say it, not giving Kali Yuga the role that it deserved and just like allowing ourselves to fall into what the pandemic was imposing upon us, we really pushed and fought back with that idea. And so I was working with animators to create music videos. We shot a music video within restrictions even. Did a live stream within restrictions. We really pushed the envelope of what we were told would and wouldn't be possible. So for that, it never was able to actually sit still. It was constantly, rather than working smarter as opposed to working harder, you actually had to work harder to be smarter. It's interesting.
Yeah. Well, you guys do have music coming out, but what have you got planned for the rest of this year other than Full Tilt? Like, will you guys look at doing some of your own tours later in the year, or what are the plans there?
Yeah, so after Full Tilt, we have the Kali Yuga rescheduled tour is happening in November. Brisbane has already happened in March. That was the show that we were able to finally play, so to speak. But the rest of the country is almost all sold out. I believe there's some tickets to Sydney and both Melbourne left, but that's kind of going to be the icing on the cake for the Kali Yuga cake, I guess you'd say. A moment we're really hanging out for to really deliver more than just a show, but like a theatrical event. We've got all kinds of things planned for that. So that's really as far as we can see. And in the meantime, what we're working on a documentary about the last few years, a metal band seeking sustainability through all of the crises that have presented themselves.
Awesome. That sounds amazing. Tell us a little bit about that, and when do you think that we might be able to actually be able to see the documentary?
Don't know when you're able to see it. We're not rushing it, really wanting it to be the best it can be. I hope a year or in a year's time, I hope.
Awesome.
Telling you a bit about it, other than my elevator pitch, yeah, to say that it's metal band's journey towards seeking sustainability and following the journeys that have happened through bushfires and pandemics. That's the premise of what we're doing, and we're kind of in terms of finishing it, we're in the ending era of that. The story's still presenting itself as we speak.
Awesome. Well, I cannot wait to check that out, mate. I know we're running out of time very, very quickly, but I'd like to ask before I go, you're playing with a whole bunch of bands that are friends of yours at Full Tilt. Does that make the festival feel even more special for you, and what can your fans expect from this show?
Fans can expect to drink a lot of water because they're probably going to sweat a lot, because it's probably going to be 7-8 hours of constant moshing. So stay hydrated. It's going to be 100% Full Tilt. And I don't know what else to say other than, it will be seeing a lot of friends. It's going to be reunions for all kinds of people. And people in the audience, I think, will be reuniting with their friends in that space. So it's going to have a beautiful energy, I feel.
Definitely. Well, mate, I'll let you go. Thank you so much for chatting to us today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, man.
Awesome, mate. See you soon. Bye.
See ya.